Honorable Dr. Antonio Guterres, the first Deputy Rector of UNITAL, and Honorable Dr. Marito Magno, UNITAL Corporation Field, and along with UNITAL staff, welcome to the conference. Respectable Nilton Diamantinu Paiva Pau PhD as the head of the National Accreditation Board for Higher Education in Timor-Leste. Respectable Dr. Salustiano dos Reis Piadet as Director of the Institute of Technology DIT Timor-Leste, along with the staff of the Institute of Technology DIT Timor-Leste. And also Honorable Abdurrahim MM as the Director of the Cerdika International Cyber Polytechnic, along with the staff of the Cerdika International Cyber Polytechnic. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, distinguished speakers, and also honorable participants, welcome to the International Conference on Social Technology and Science 2024. Hosted by Ridwan Institute in collaboration with UNITAL. It is truly an honor to have all of you here today, both those attending on site and also virtually. Before we begin, ladies and gentlemen, let us extend our gratitude to God Almighty for His blessings that allow us to gather in this insightful event. We are excited to explore today's theme, facing digital challenges and opportunities in social science and technology. My name is Alda Wilian from Universitas Siliwangi, Tasikmalaya, Indonesia. I will be your master of ceremony as well as the moderator throughout this event. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin this international conference by singing the national anthem of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya. Please, operator.
Ya, ya, makasih.
Okay, thank you for joining in honoring our national anthem. Now, let us move forward with the next agenda. To begin with, we would like to present the profile of our esteemed host, the Ridwan Institute. Please direct your attention to the screen. Can the participant hear the sound of the video? Thank you. That was a brief overview of the significant work carried out by the Ridwan Institute. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we will watch the profile video of our co-host, Unital, highlighting their achievements, their visions for global collaboration. Please enjoy. Okay, pardon me. That was the profile video of Cerdika International Cyber Polytechnic. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now we move forward to the next agenda. We invite the chairman of Ridwan Institute, Mr. Abdurrahim MM, to deliver his welcoming speech and to officially open the conference. Please welcome Mr. Abdurrahim.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Alda. Ya, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and thank you for joining this conference, the second international conference on social science and technology organized by Ridwan Institute. It's an immense honor and privilege for me to welcome you all to the second international conference on social science and technology, proudly organized by Ridwan Institute. Allow me to express my deep gratitude to our distinguished keynote and invited speakers who have graciously joined us today despite their demanding schedules. It is our pleasure to welcome Dr. Amin Ali Salim Talibi, Nilton Diamantino Paifamau PhD, Dr. Abdul Hasib Tahir, and Dr. Abhishek Tomandru, whose insights will enrich our discussion on this year's themes. Facing digital challenges and opportunities in social science and technology. This year's INCOS continues to build on its mission of fostering collaboration and dialogue among scholars, practitioners, and policymakers from around the world. In an era marked by rapid technological advancement, the synergy between social science and technology has become more critical than ever. Our theme reflects the urgency of addressing this information, exploring both the opportunities and challenges posed by the digital age, and ensuring that these changes contribute positively to society progress. Through this conference, we aim to create a platform to sharing innovative ideas, groundbreaking research, and practical solutions. We are confident that the presentation and discussion over the next 2 days will inspire the new way of thinking and encourage collaboration that drive impactful outcomes. The contribution of this year's speaker and participants are vital as we navigate the complexities of our evolving world. I would also like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Ridwan Institute and the dedicated organized committee for their tireless efforts and bringing the conference to life. Your commitment to excellence and collaboration has ensured the success of this event, making it a hallmark of academic and professional discourse. To all participants, I hope you find this a conference enlightening, thought-provoking, and an opportunity to forge meaningful connection. Let this gathering serve not only as a venue for sharing knowledge, but also as a catalyst for creating lasting change in our respective fields. Okay, thank you for being a part of the second international conference on social science and technology INCOS. Let us embark on this journey together, embracing the digital challenges and opportunities that lie ahead. I wish you all fruitful and inspiring experience. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul Rahim, for your warm remarks and inspiring words. Moving on, it is our great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Claudio Ninas Nabais, who will share his insight. But before that, I would like to read his personal informations briefly. So Dr. Claudio Ninas Nabais is a distinguished academic and researcher from Timor-Leste, currently serving as director of UNITOL, Universidad Oriental Timor Leste. He has made significant contributions to agricultural research, particularly focusing on sustainable farming and crop optimizations. In his research, Dr. Nabais has explored the effect of various types and dosages of manure on the growth and yield of crops like onions and eggplants. Dr. Nabais has also contributed to research on sustainable agricultural development in Timor-Leste. He co-authored a lot of research articles. One of them's entitled Study of Factors That Influence the Sustainability of Agriculture Development in the Bobonaro Municipality, Timor-Leste. So, ladies and gentlemen, through his leadership at UNITAL and his extensive research, Dr. Nabais continues to play a pivotal role in advancing agricultural education and sustainable farming practices in Timor-Leste. So we are going to hear a lot of colorful and insightful information from him in this opportunity. So, Dr. Claudio, the time is yours.
Nanti diviralin.
So, Mr. Claudio, are you here? Okay, while we are waiting, as everybody knows, the theme of our international conference today is facing digital challenges and opportunities in social science and technology. With this theme, this conference underscores the profound impact of digital transformations on society and technology. This conference also aims to delve into the multifaceted challenges posed by the digital age, including ethical dilemmas, data security, privacy concerns, and the widening digital divide. At the same time, the team also highlights the immense opportunities offered by digital advancements, such as fostering innovation, enhancing global collaboration, and enabling more efficient and inclusive solutions to social and technological issues. This conference seeks to bring together scholars, practitioners, and policymakers to exchange ideas, share their research findings, and also discuss strategies, especially for navigating the complexities of the digital era. By addressing these pressing challenges and also harnessing the potential of digital tools, the conference aspires to contribute to sustainable development and also a more equitable, more connected, and technologically empowered world. So that is actually the noble purpose of this conference, and hopefully the participant also can receive those purposes at the end of the day. So is Dr. Claudio here? Dr. Claudio, welcome to the conference.
Okay. Is doctor already coming? Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Claudio. Please, time is
Good
yours.
morning. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, we are fine. We are looking forward to hear your presentation today. Please take your time. The stage is yours.
I'm sorry, I'm come quite late, but we are ready to join with you. Thank you very much for inviting us.
Yes, Mr. Claudio. You may start.
Bisa juga secara termin, nanti dari kontraknya.
Yes, is connecting. Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr.
okay.
Claudio. You may start.
Okay. Yeah, can you hear us?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, we are from Timor-Leste, from the University of Oriental Timor-Leste. We would like to present our topic of challenge and opportunity of introducing the conservation agriculture technology in Timor-Leste. But before I go to my slide that I have prepared, let me introduce here audience from the students and also from our professors are participating in this conference. Approximately, we have 7 faculties, and each faculties also are linking with this international seminar. Approximately about 100 of students are attending this international conference. So in this room, and they are in the different rooms in each faculty. So I hope they can capture some of important presentation from this international conference, and this is really useful for us and particularly for the students that are joining this international conference. So I will go with this outline that I have prepared. I have a very few slides here: introduction, agricultural practices, technology, and technology innovation, challenges and opportunities of introducing a conservation agriculture technology in Timor-Leste, process of adopting innovation. So this is a very general introduction. Timor-Leste just gained its independence in 2002, and total area is about 15,000 kilometers square. The total population just recently taken the data of the total population in 2024. Approximately 1.3 million population. Total household, based on the record of the agricultural census in 2019, was approximately 200,000. The number is 213,417. The total agriculture household is 66% of the total household. The proprietary agriculture. Sorry. Go ahead. Okay. Okay, a primary cause of Timor-Leste still facing the food insecurity. Food security is still our priority. How will our government effort to meet the demand of the food insecurity in Timor-Leste, because the low productivity that we have, maize, because our main consumption is maize and rice. Agriculture consistently produce less food because of the domestic production is still less, and a population with approximately 1/3 of the cereal requirement being imported. So because of the demand of the food is particularly for rice increase every year, so we need to import rice from other countries, not only rice, but some also of vegetables and also fruit. Low yield in Timor-Leste can be attributed to the use of a poor yield of varieties, less use of agricultural technologies, poor soils, and some others like other agricultural practices, and also the land condition like steep slopes and high variable of rainfall is related to the climate change that happen globally. So yeah, climate change will likely affected in Timor-Leste. Now farmers already feel how climate change affect their production, not only in agriculture, but also in livestock, fisheries, forestries, and others, and even behavior of farmers itself. So climate change will likely change the type of the extent of the crops damage due to the disease and other conditions, and successfully and the cultivators that can be failed for the crops in the several places. So the islands, as I mentioned, that the islands dominated with a massive central mountains backbone. So more than 60% of the total land is slopey. So if we do we practice with agriculture, with traditional agriculture practices, it's really affecting to the productivity or the production in the country. So this is some of land condition in Timor-Leste, meteorological conditions in Timor-Leste in different, because we have two seasons in Timor-Leste: rainfall, rainy season, and dry season. So normally in the southern part, quite enough rainfall in Timor-Leste, but in northern part very less. Sometimes only 5 months or 4 months rainfall. So land condition will be different in different monsoon, heavy monsoon rains from November to May. But some in the southern part, it's still okay for Timor-Leste to have 2 to 3 crops a year. So agriculture practice and technology innovation in Timor-Leste. Based on the land condition, slash and burn practices is still dominating in the practice of agriculture practice in Timor-Leste, from slash and burning, shifting cultivation. It's really affecting to the soil condition, deforestation in Timor-Leste. So how will change this type of behavior of our farmers to be used and innovation agriculture technology. So these some of traditional tools that our farmers are still using. So this is really part of the practice that affecting to the low yield, to the insecurity in food security in the country. So adopting an innovation or any agriculture technology is a long process because of some of innovation that we introduce to farmers contradicts it to their long practices. For example, we introduced agriculture technology of conservation agriculture technology. We introduced it to them by the principle of no burning, no plowing, cultivating some of legumes. This is contradicted to their long practice with burning, slash and burn, plowing. That's the long process of convincing farmers to adopt any innovation that we introduce to farmers. Right. So innovating, some of the Ministry of Agriculture and some of researchers try to develop how will the land condition, the behavior of farmers, which tools with agriculture technology that can be introduced to farmers and can help farmers to increase the productivity, or can adopt the new technology or any innovation to them. So challenges and opportunity of introducing the conservation agriculture technology. Of course, by changing behavior of our farmers, we introduce imported tools. It's not easy to adopt. We need to have we need to introduce how these those tools that we introduce to them, even those tools are good in other countries or in other part of the country, but farmers cannot adopt this kind of technology immediately. So we need to adjust with the land condition and also the culture as well, economically as well, which tools are more appropriate to be introduced to them, and they can gradually adopt or use this kind of the tools. So we related to the conservation agriculture tools that we adopt, we introduce it to farmers. It's not easy based on the land condition that this kind of tools normally used for the flat land, but how we will introduce also for the slopy land. We modified some of tools, innovating that tools that rail adapt to the land condition. So this is the practice, but it is not easy to be adopted immediately, but through many process by training or by demonstration and other effort to convince farmer to use innovation that we introduced to them. So these are some of the pictures that we show from the use of land preparation for plowing, for burning, how we will change their habit of burning, slash and burn. We introduce a new technology to them to adopt to help them increasing the productivity and also adopting the climate change that happen globally. So the process of adopting innovation. So most of the agriculture technology are still imported. We imported from different part of the country, particularly from Indonesia as our neighbor country. We introduced some of adopted tools that they used by farmers in Indonesia. But of course, we need to adjust based on the condition, soil condition here, culture as well, and economically as well, how farmers can adopt this kind of tools to be used for helping them reducing labor costs or increasing land size or increasing the production in their farm. So some of the practices that we use to introduce, of course, demonstration. We are also engaged in the local leaders, and by demonstration, by the exposure visit, bringing farmers from one place to another place for introducing this kind of innovation that can help farmers. Right. Yes, I think that this is a very short presentation from us from Universidad Oriental Timor-Leste. I'm representing our colleagues. There are here dean of the faculties, director of research, students also here. This is my presentation. Thank you very much for all of your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Claudio, for your enlightening presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, the next session will feature presentation from our distinguished speaker. Each speaker will have around 10 minutes to present, maybe followed by question and answer session if the time is enough. Let us begin with our first speaker, Dr. Amin Ali Salim Talibi. Dr. Amin, are you here?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yes.
Okay, Dr. Amin. Allow me to read your CV, first of all, before you start the presentations.
Okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Amin is a chartered accountant, academic, and also consultant, CEO, also entrepreneur and social activist. He graduated from Ain Sham University in Cairo with a bachelor's in commerce accounting in 1983 and moved to London to pursue his master's in accounting and finance from London School of Economics. He obtained his PhD from Warwick University in 2003 and left NUS, where he had been since, in 1991 in the same year to focus on his business and consulting. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, he is currently with the Singapore University of Social Science Business School. He was previously with the National University of Singapore from 1991 to 2003. He left National University of Singapore to focus on his business and consulting firm with more than 15 years experience in F&B as owner manager of lifestyle cafe and restaurant. I mean, introduce new lifestyle product into the Singapore market. So, what is it? I mean, has also been an adjunct faculty with Matrix School of Management, lecturing in their overseas MBA programs. He also has published extensively and has over 70 published academic papers. He previously was the chairman of the Research Institute of Muslim Affairs and a board member of the Middle East Institute. So we have the right person to listen to. I do believe all of the participants will receive a lot of insightful and fruitful information from him. So, Dr. Amin, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. You all can see the sharing, right?
Yes,
All right.
very clear.
Bismillah. First, hello, good morning to everybody. And Assalamu alaikum. What I want to talk about is just about technology and the societal changes that are happening in society. And I'll focus a bit on the cultured meat and Singapore Muslim perceptions. Because, of course, if we are talking about societal changes, it's a very, very big thing. We can be talking forever. You know, there is a technology disruptions. There is, the other hand, all these SDG 17 sustainability thing with the laws changing and like the climate change. And all these have led to a lot of changes in society and how society behaves. Now, for us academics, this is kind of a good thing because it provides a lot of opportunities for research. How do people react to all these technological changes and changes in the way we are living? And particularly for this region, for Southeast Asia region, for Indonesia, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, whatever, for this region, or for the East, basically, it also provides another area, which is how do these changes and these technology changes interact with our traditional values? And we saw the previous speaker speaks about the farmer in Timor-Leste who have a lot of resistance to change, right? So this resistance to change is also an area that we are not talking a lot about it. It is actually what the technology is asking society to do is really to change their way of life. A simple thing that all of us are affected is no more plastic straws in cafes, right? So we are asked to change how we behave. No more plastic bags in supermarkets. So it's these are changes that are requested on individuals, and of course, part of society still are resistant to that change. So this is one area that academic can research. How significant is this resistance to change, and what are ways that we can overcome this resistance? One example I'm thinking of is the cultured meat, is the cultivated meat in lab. Now, are people willing to start eating cultivated meat or cultured meat? And what is the situation in Islam about it being halal and non-halal? Is there a difference between Muslims and non-Muslims in terms of accepting cultured meat? All right. So these are issues that we need to worry about, particularly when it comes to halal, not halal, in terms of meat for Islam. It actually brings in another dimension, which some scholars may want to look at. It brings another dimension of differences in fatwas. Fatwas is the Islamic decree for what is halal, what is not halal. And if we look at the region around us, we don't need to look very far. We just look at Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore, for example. They haven't really totally agreed on a singular fatwa on cultured meat. Right? There's still a lot of debate whether it is halal if it comes from dead animal or live animal and so forth. Okay, so another area we need to look at is actually harmonizing our fatwas as well. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm supervising a student, a candidate Muhammad Zaharin bin Abdullah. He's doing a PhD study on the consumer perceptions of cultured meat in Singapore. And the study actually focuses on the Muslim community. What we did so far is we did a basic exploratory study to get us to understand some of the points about the people's perception in terms of cultured meat, particularly in terms of the difference between Muslims and non-Muslims. So, and that's what this exploratory study focused on the perceptions of cultured meat, focus on Muslim consumers. And just for information, Singapore is actually one of the first countries to approve the sale of cultured meat. You can now go and buy in supermarkets cultured meat. And the problem with Singapore, exactly like the previous speaker spoke about Timor-Leste issue with food sufficiency. Singapore also are trying to have this 30 by 30 vision that 30% of food will be produced locally by 2030. And of course, Singapore doesn't have the land to actually produce the food. So they're going into all kind of using technology to be able to produce food locally. And one of them is that's why the high interest in cultured meat. All right. So this study we did is just to provide insights, as I said, with a focus on Muslim community. That's the purpose of the study. And the kind of questions we wanted to answer was, what are the factors that influence the acceptance of cultured meat? Oh, sorry, jumping. What are the factors that influence the acceptance of cultured meat among consumers in Singapore, both Muslims and non-Muslims? How do these factors differ between Muslims and non-Muslims in their acceptance of cultured meat? All right. First, we looked at the whole literature review on cultured meat and how some countries are advancing in the cultured meat technology, particularly US, Israel, South Korea, and even I think China is doing rice with meat DNA. All right, and we looked at the literature on consumer acceptance challenges. And what are the public attitudes for successful market entry, so that it can be useful as well for people who produce cultured meat. Of course, some researchers might even want to use the TAM, the technology acceptance model, to see who accepts cultured meat and who doesn't, and whether it is in line with the traditional TAM model. And the literature tends to suggest that the acceptance of cultured meat is actually influenced by how people view its safety, how people view whether it's natural or unnatural, and the taste, of course. And also whether you can trust the technology, the lab where the cultured meat is processed at. All right. And there is also a lot of people in literature talked about the ethical motivation. Now, the ethical motivation is if you like, is double-edged sword, right? I mean, ethical consideration, in one hand, most people suggest that ethical consideration is that people will consume cultured meat for ethical reasons of saving the environment and so forth. Then there's the other end, which is as I said, those resistance to change and the traditional people who might think it's not ethical to recreate in lab, right? So these are issues that gives us a lot of space for research in the coming years, right? And the literature also comes up with suggesting that the younger people, the eco-conscious consumers, show a greater acceptance. And because it supports animal welfare and sustainability. There's very little in the literature because most of the literature is trying to look at what is it that will make cultured meat work. So there's very little in the literature of what are the side effects of cultured meat, as in if we don't eat these animals, what's going to happen to the environment. And I am predicting that in the next few years we will see some papers talking about that what happens if we suddenly have overpopulation of cows and lamb, for example. Oops. All right. So the major barriers of why people don't accept cultured meat, according to the literature, is one is food neophobia, means that people don't really want to try food that's unnatural or new to them. So one of the solutions for that is education on food safety, environment impact, and so forth. And an example is in Singapore. When Singapore introduced new water some years ago, new water is basically recycled water. I don't want to go to the details of what new water is, but it's more than just recycled water. It's recycled water from household usage. And initially, when they came up with the idea, there was a bit of resistance from society. But the government went on a campaign of educating people, and everywhere you go, it was new water that was served in events, and until it got to a stage where people just accept new water and no one is complaining about the fact that we are using new water. Okay, now, then there is, of course, the Muslim point of view. Is it halal? What makes it halal? What doesn't make it halal? So the point that makes it halal, we say, okay, we have grown up on traditionally that what makes the lamb or beef halal is the slaughtering. Therefore, if the animal is slaughtered according to Islamic way, then if we take the DNA or the sample from the animal and recreate meat from it, then it should be halal. As long as, but then the question comes, as long as the process in the lab confirms with the halal requirements. Now, then there is the issue of what if it's taken from a live animal instead of a dead animal? Is it halal? So the clerics are still debating. Okay. Singapore, this fatwa, they said it's halal. Nahdat al-Ulama in Indonesia, I believe, they said they don't believe that it can be halal if it's from a live animal. Okay, so they are still debating on what exactly should happen. Then there's the ethical and environmental consideration that it has all these solutions to greenhouse gas emissions and usage of land and water and so forth, opposed to traditional farming. Okay, so we did a survey, just 100 respondents, of which 3/4 were Muslims and 1/4 were non-Muslims in Singapore. And these are the results from the survey. Right. Okay, so both Muslims and non-Muslim group reported actually low knowledge levels and moderate perception of sustainability, and both moderate open attitude to trying cultured meat. Now, what we need to take into context as well is Singapore is a very urbanized city. So these results are biased towards an urbanized city. So I don't know if results in the rural areas would be different in terms of the perception as well. So it would be interesting to look at perceptions and attitudes in the difference between urban and rural area. Okay, so our results kind of indicated that Muslims are more inclined to buy if the cultured meat is seen as eco-friendly, and also that cost considerations were key. So a lot of people believe that cultured meat will be a lot more expensive, and that they needs to be recognized as halal by the Muslim authority in Singapore. Also, the fact that sustainability is positively influence acceptance as a sustainable option, but it's a modest influence. And the environmental impacts say strongly impacts likelihood to purchase, that more consumers are more inclined to accept cultured meat if it has a proven lower environmental impact than traditional meat. Honestly, though the results say that, I am a bit skeptical about these, because it's fashionable now to talk about environmental impact. So a lot of the surveys, everybody is going to make fuss about environmental impact, that I will eat cultured meat if there is an environmental impact, and so on. So I'm a bit skeptical. I'm not sure when it comes to actually purchasing cultured meat versus traditional meat, whether they would be thinking of environmental impact. But everybody trying to be politically correct and say environmental impact is a very important thing for them. Okay, so these are the hypotheses. First hypothesis we test is that came out that there are significant factors influence. And if we look at the factors, comparison of factors, both have positive view on sustainability, Muslims and non-Muslims. Okay, so there's a minor difference between them. There's a significant difference in the factor affecting Muslims and non-Muslims. That's what our results showed, and the shared factor is the sustainability perception. The unique factors for Muslims, our results showed: one, price sensitivity, and two, halal certification. Now, halal certification makes a lot of sense. Yes, of course, Muslims would worry whether it is halal or not halal to eat cultured meat. Price sensitivity, we are a bit confused is not the word, but a bit wondering, where does the price sensitivity come from compared Muslims and non-Muslims? Is it just because we had a larger sample of Muslims versus a smaller sample of non-Muslims, i.e. 75 Muslims versus 25 non-Muslims? Or is it because the respondents in the Muslim category are of a lower economic status than the non-Muslims? We're not very sure, right? But that's what the results say. There's a price sensitivity, right? And the non-Muslims seem to focus on environmental impact. Now, so halal certification is kind of crucial for Muslim consumers. So they want cultured meat to be certified as halal. Now, but there also what came to our attention from this small sample size. But we must admit that this is just exploratory study. The sample size is small, only 100 respondents, and the whole idea is just to get a feel of the perception of consumers before we go into the full scale before we go into the full scale PhD research and how to amend our survey questions. So some consumers are still uncertain in the responses about cultured meat can be halal or not, which actually there is a halal fatwa issued by the Muslim Authority in Singapore. So it got us to think, okay, awareness was lacking, awareness of halal certification is lacking, awareness of cultured meat is lacking. So therefore, the Muslim Authority actually need to go on a roadshow to educate the Muslims about the fatwa on cultured meat. And other implications for businesses is we saw that environmental effects, sustainability are important for consumers. Therefore, businesses should highlight this fact that is good for the environment. Okay, well, Muslims generally more sustainability and the non-Muslims more environmental impact. So there needs to be transparent halal certification, and we need to communicate on in terms of compliance, and also the issue of affordability. And affordability probably will come through when it advances. So of course, we need a larger sample size for this research. As I said, our research is just exploratory to have a feel. We need a larger sample size. We need to have some focus group discussions and track changes in consumer attitudes and acceptance over time. Okay. So we need basically the conclusion, we need basically more research in all aspects of changes and how it relates to religious beliefs, because we saw from the cultured meat basic research that both Muslims and non-Muslim consumers value the cultured meat environmental benefits, and Muslims' acceptance hinges on halal certification and religious endorsement. And there's the cultural alignment essential for gaining trust and acceptance. So there is a need to educate people on the present fatwas. Okay, so businesses need to ensure that cultured meat meets the cultural and religious standard. And in terms of fatwas, as I said earlier, what's probably also required, which is a side research for us academics, is maybe how can generally the fatwas be identical in neighboring countries? Because with the fatwas being different, it creates a bit of confusion among consumers as well. All right. So this is just the cultured meal, just an example of some of the things that technology has brought upon us, that we can take that technology and look at the impact and perception of people in society and vis-a-vis their traditional beliefs and religious beliefs. And there's a lot of other areas that researchers we can work on. I mean, the previous speaker has spoke about the farming technology and how the farmers are resisting the technology in farming. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amin, for your valuable insight. We go to the next one, and I am delighted to introduce you with the next speaker. It is Dr. Nilton Diamantinu Paiva Mau. Are you here, Dr. Nilton?
Yes, of course, I'm here.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, Dr. Nilton is currently the Executive Director of National Agency for Accreditation and Assessment of Higher Education in Timor-Leste. So I do believe we are going to listen so much valuable informations and knowledge from him. So, Dr. Nilton, the stage is yours.
Yeah. May I share my PowerPoint slide to all
Sure.
of you?
Sure, yes. Pardon me, Dr. Nilton, I would like to remind you that you have 15 minutes to present the presentation. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for opportunity. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for the Ridwan Institute who invited me to become a speaker. I'd like to explain in my presentation because I'm executive director of ANA, is a national agency for accreditation in higher education in Timor-Leste. So my focus presentation in talking about managing higher education in Timor-Leste for global competitiveness based on Timorese perspective. I think you can follow me in my PowerPoint slide. Okay, just to review higher education in Timor-Leste overall. In Timor-Leste, right now we have 19 higher education university and institution accredited in Timor-Leste, composed of UNTL, UNDIL, UNITAL, UMAS, TAT, IUB, IC, ICS, UCT, IPDC, ISFIT, HC, IBTL, ICFP, GSI, IPB, ISDB, ISGB, and UNE. The 19 higher education is accredited by national agency. And then ANA is a national agency, is under Minister of Higher Education. It's a pioneer of quality. And Minister of Higher Education is as a regulator. And then it's like my research observations during accreditation and since before I become a executive director as a national panel, there are a phenomena gap. It's a dilemma between a curriculum in higher education and industry needed in field work. Problem of the right man in the right place become a fundamental problems, and a global competitiveness become a core of this. Quality of institution composed of lecturer, staff, facility, curriculum, finance become important pillar to manage institution itself. I'd like to underline that there are 10 standards or benchmark that ANA follow to give evaluation accreditation to institution and university in East Timor, both public and private. It include curriculum and then human resources, learning outcome, and then graduation, graduate students, infrastructure, facility, and then 5 years planning. We found that in 10 years, there are some university and institute in Timor-Leste faces the same problem, especially in human resources, curriculum, and finance. That's why we become a partner to the institution, both public and university, to help them to provide a good quality to young generation in East Timor. Yes. And then I continue to literature review. That's talking about higher education, education at universities or similar educational establishment, especially to degree level. Higher education, also education at a college or university, where subjects are studied at an advanced level, from Cambridge Dictionary. Higher education, also tertiary education, leading to award of an academic degree. So how manage to handle or direct with a degree of skills such to exercise executive administrative, to succeed in doing or dealing with something, especially something difficult. Managing also to take charge or care of, to manage, to dominate or influence, to handle, direct, govern, or control in action or use. Management is the administration of an organization, whether it is a business, a not-for-profit organization, or government. Frederick Winslow Taylor, management is an art of knowing what to do, when to do, and see that it is done in the best and cheapest way. Management is a set of principles relating to the functions of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, and the application of this principle in harnessing physical, financial, human, and information resources efficiently and effectively to achieve organization goals. Global competitiveness, we're talking about global competitiveness, meaning as a field of economic knowledge which analyze the fact and policy that shape the ability of a nation to create and maintain an environment that sustain more value creation for its enterprises and more prosperity for its people. The World Economic Forum defines global competitiveness as the ability of a country to achieve sustained high rates of growth in gross domestic product, GDP per capita. Factor affecting global competitiveness as a physical infrastructure, the business environment should be as such that it improves coordination among public sector agencies. High total factor productivity is a boon for economic growth. Productivity campaigns intensifying R&D activities, improving the capacity of sector microeconomic. So methodology that I have used to do research, qualitative methodology. Stephen 2002, qualitative methodology is a kind of methodology that focuses on obtaining data through open-ended and conversational communication. Primary data that I use is a get from interview with the key respondents. Secondary data get from literature, books, social media, and etc. And then key respondent is a former executive director of ANA, former rector of DIT, vice rector of academic affairs UNDIL, former vice rector of internal quality UNTL, and officer of CCITL. Method of data collection is observation, in-depth interview, and documentation. Method data processing, triangulation method. Each key respondent answers same question that researcher provided. Method of data analysis using Miles and Habermas, 1984. First, data collection, data reduction, data interpretation, and data conclusion. Result is and discussions. I provided 4 questions, and first question is talking about for 4 key respondents. How do you think about the landscape of higher education in Timor-Leste right now? The first key respondent answered that higher education in Timor-Leste has existed since Indonesian occupation, 80s to 90s, with UNTIM and Polytechnic Hera as a public university. In 2007 and 2008, the number of universities in Timor-Leste became highest, with 20 universities established. To guarantee quality, government established ANA, Agensian Accreditation, in 2006 with rigor evaluation. Finally, in 2009, only 8 universities and institutions still existed. 2013, the number became high, 11 university and institutions. In 2019 till now, the number of university and institutions that accredited from ANA are 19 university and institutions. Respondent number 2, national qualification framework become backbone to develop higher education in Timor-Leste. Higher education in Timor-Leste need investment in facilities, human resource, and curriculum. Government need to treat each university based on what university needed. Okay, respondent number 3, higher education Timor-Leste right now not in the proper track. The main problem that higher education Timor-Leste face are facilities, human capacity, and finance investment. Key respondent number 4, every year higher education Timor-Leste produce a lot of students, but what happened is what university produce mismatch with what industry sector needed. And key respondent number 5, development higher education Timor-Leste need to match with field work that provided from industry in Timor-Leste. Question number 2, how do you think about a global competitiveness right now? And then respondent number 1, Timor-Leste part of a global world. What happened? The global war also influenced Timor-Leste. Higher education Timor-Leste needs to adopt science technology based on digitalization. University or institute need to create course that can respond to global market. Majority higher education Timor-Leste have same course, not difference. To compete with other countries seems like too far. Respondent number 2, global competitiveness similar with we call 4.0 industry, everything done using digital technology. Higher education Timor-Leste need to create curriculum that makes sense with global competitiveness, attitude, science, technology, develop. Key respondent number 3, limitation that higher education Timor-Leste is investment in finance. How can we talk about global competitiveness, but in reality, we're still working in limitation? Respondent number 4, local and national competitiveness become fundamental. We should prepare people who have capacity, skill, knowledge, and attitude become advantage capacity that responded to what market needed. Respondent number 5, higher education Timor-Leste should prepare qualified people to compete in global competitiveness. Qualified in knowledge, skill, and attitude. Formation that higher education Timor-Leste provide should be guarantee people in field work, not only in national level, but in global level. Higher education should produce people that responded to local, national, and global necessity. Question number 3, how to make sense between what higher education produce with global competitiveness? Respondent number 1, establish benchmark to guarantee competitive advantage, create superiority or uniqueness course, small but beautiful to market needed. Government and private sector need to create industry. Curriculum in higher education should respond to what market needed, the right course for the right market. Respondent number 2, Ministry of Higher Education should be invest in finance to support higher education to produce qualified people for global competitiveness. Respondent number 3, Minister of Higher Education reinforce private institution or university higher education should produce the right people to respond to what market needed. Respondent number 4, to fulfill gap between higher education market, higher education need to make treasure study and involve practitioner in curriculum set up for accomplish. Respondent number 5, higher education not only produce people to become government officer, but higher education should produce people that will contribute to develop and changing in society, nation, and global based on their capacity. And then question number 4, how do you think about the best practice to develop higher education in Timor-Leste to respond for a global competitiveness? Respondent number 1, what matter the most it is outcomes based on the question. Ultimate goals are knowledge, skill, and attitude respond to customer satisfaction. Learning outcome not only what students get in classroom, but capacity to demonstrate what they have got, sustain, compete, and live for years. Respondent number 2, curriculum settlement should become national campaign. Involve industry in curriculum accomplish and continue cooperate with ANA to guarantee quality of higher education. Respondent number 3, higher education should cooperate with other higher education in and out of country. Forum of rector should become a pioneer of change. Respondent number 4, higher education should involve practitioners to develop curriculum and guarantee target market for graduate students. Respondent number 5, higher education should not focus on number of students that they produce every year, but what skill, knowledge, and attitude that students have got and contributed to society, industry that hiring them. And then move to, after I do research to 5 key respondents, and we go to the conclusion. Conclusion: the higher education in Timor-Leste still on the process to develop quality of education for Timorese young people. Quality higher education in Timor-Leste. There are a lot of mismatch between what higher education in Timor-Leste produce with what industry in Timor-Leste need. Curriculum design that higher education provided not make sense with what national market need. There are a lot of limitations that higher education face it: finance, human resource, and facility. And then we go to recommendation. Higher education in Timor-Leste should involve private sector in curriculum settlement. Course that higher education provided should be response to market. Government and private sector should be create industry to respond necessities that higher education wait for. Knowledge, skill, and attitude should become ultimate goals from its higher education in Timor-Leste. Outcome-based education become best practice for higher education in Timor-Leste to guarantee quality. So that's all about my presentation about just the evidence that the interview that I have done with my key respondent. And then, obrigado, thank you, maraming salamat. Back to moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nilton, for your valuable insight. Next, I'm delighted to introduce you with the third speakers of this international conference. It's Dr. Abdul Hasib Tahir. Are you here, Dr. Abdul?
Yes, Professor.
Okay, Dr. Abdul, before we start, I would like to read your CP, first of all, for the audiences. Okay, so the next speaker is Dr. Abdul Hasib Tahir. Right now, he is the senior lecturer and also research coordinator in Virtual University Faridia Colony Campus, Arif Wala. He is also lecturer and research coordinator in Institute of Southern Punjab. In terms of publications, he has written a lot of works and published all of them. I would like to read one of them, which is the latest. The title is Sustainable Development Goals and Green Human Resource Management, a comprehensive review of environmental performance. It was published in Journal of Environmental Management in 2024. So we have a great speaker in this opportunity to listen to, Mr. Dr. Abdul Hasib. The stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. Let me share my presentation first. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible, Mr. Abdul. You may.
Okay,
start.
thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you for the Ridwan Institute. Thank you, the moderator. Thanks to all who are here to give me the opportunity to share some thoughts, some words with you. Myself, Abdul Hasib Tahir, and today my topic to share with some insights is the role of artificial intelligence in reshaping business management. As we all know that social science, one major area has business management. So business management nowadays is collaborating with AI, artificial intelligence. So this topic may be very interesting for you. I have chosen some points to discuss. First one is the development and impact of artificial intelligence in business management. When we talk about the development and impact, the AI is basically fundamentally altering the global economic and social landscape by driving innovations and enhancing efficiency across various sectors. Like with advancement in the algorithms, AI systems are becoming increasingly capable of solving complex problems and adapting to new data in real time. Improvements in computing power allow AI to process vast amount of data quickly, also making it indispensable for industries resilient on big data, such as we can say the healthcare industry, the finance industry, logistics, supply chain management, and so many more. The integration of AI into diverse fields has sparked new industries, enabling better customer experience, enhanced precisions, and faster decision-making processes. The rapid growth of big data sources further accelerates AI developments, providing a solid foundations for predictive analysis, automations, personalized services. Basically, these advancements are creating opportunities for economic growth while reshaping societal norms and job roles, often requiring government and organizations to rethink education and the workforce strategies to stay competitive, and alongside working in the AI-driven world, since we all know with the passage of time, AI is evolving in our each field of our life. So the development and impact is very huge, especially in business management field as well. The second thing which we should consider while we're talking about AI and business management is the changes in business decision-making processes. AI enhances business decision-making by providing advancing analytical tools that extract actionable insights from massive databases, massive data sets. These tools enables businesses to understand trends, predict outcomes, and make more informed decisions with higher accuracy and confidence as well. AI-driven marketing technologies improve accuracy, speed up campaigning execution, and significantly reduce operational costs. Also, it allowing businesses to focus on strategic goals rather than just we can say like operational burdens. Furthermore, AI enables predictive modeling, empowering organizations to anticipate customer needs, optimize supply chains, and mitigate risks. As a result, decision-making processes become more innovative, more agile, and aligned with organizational goals. Artificial intelligence also facilitates real-time updates and adjustments, allowing business to respond quickly to market changes. Like just we can take example the online marketing, online stock exchanges, and other fields. The integration of AI ensures decisions are backed by robust data, reducing human error, increasing competitive advantages, and fostering resilience in uncertain environments. The third thing which we should consider in AI with business management is transformation of business management through or with the cause of AI. AI, since it evolving, even though it revolutionized management by mimicking human cognitive abilities such as learning from reasoning, learning from the activities, learning from the problem solving, but with significant greater efficiency and scalability than we humans did ago. By automating repetitive and time consuming tasks, AI not only boosts productivity but also allows employees to focus on higher value strategic initiatives. It reduces the likelihood of human errors and eliminate redundancies, leading to more accurate outcomes and significant cost saving across operations. Also, AI enhances operational effectiveness by streamlining workflows, optimize resource allocation, and improving decision-making capabilities. That definitely enables predictive maintenance, how we say, real-time monitoring, and adaptive systems that respond to evolving business needs. These transformations enable businesses to achieve greater flexibility and adapt to market demands more efficiently. By integrating AI, organizations can foster innovation, strengthen collaboration across teams, and improve all organization agility in a higher competitive landscape. The fourth point which we can take in consideration is AI in business and society. AI in when we talk about role of business in society and even role of business which having AI for the society, then it enhances customer experience simply. Just because of the personalization and data-driven decisions. Also reduces the cost, improve efficiency, and manage the different risk effectively. Basically, AI is transforming how businesses interact with customers by personalizing experiences and offering data-driven solutions tailored to individual needs. On every shopping activity, the businesses learn from the that particular experience, which every the customer have with them. It increases productivity by automating processes, optimizing resource allocation, enabling fast service delivery as well. Businesses can manage risk more effectively through predictive analytics, advanced monitoring systems, and automated compliance checks, ensuring operational integrity. Artificial intelligence also fosters innovation by enabling the rapid development and implementation of new technologies, providing organization with a competitive edge. Also, artificial intelligence societal impact extend to improve education, healthcare, public infrastructure, and contributing to a more connected and effective world. Because AI become more prevalent, its ability to bridge the gap between business and communities highlights its role in creating sustainable and resilient business model that basically prioritize societal well-beings alongside the profitability. The sixth point, which should we consider, that is challenges and different considerations. It's obvious when we talk about any facility, any opportunity, then some challenges and related considerations are there. So when we talk about computing methodologies, internet, artificial intelligence, then the major thing which we can face is the privacy, I think, and also the data accuracy. When a human is dealing to a data or to a particular task, they can think according to the situation, but until or unless the AI is learned, it can only be give the same information at it flows in the database. So the data accuracy will not be managed the until the reliability, we check the reliability and the sources that we put for that database should good and accurate. So we can say that despite its transformative potential, artificial intelligence poses significant challenges, including ensuring our data accuracy, reliability, and security. These days, organizations must address issues related to algorithm biases, which can unintentionally perpetuate inequalities or different type of errors. Open and transparent artificial intelligence models are necessary to build stakeholders' trust, even inside organizational stakeholders or outside organizational stakeholders. Inside mean the owners, the directors, the middle employees, and lower employees, and the outside stakeholders are the, we can say, the shareholders, first of all, then the community where the business is running, and the economy which be a part of that business. So AI models are necessary to build all these stakeholders' trust and mitigate risks associated with the biases or decision making, any type of decision making processes. Also, the ethical concerns such as data privacy, surveillance, or unwanted surveillance, and the potential of for misuse of this data and surveillance, and requires businesses to establish robust compliance framework and ethical guidelines. Moreover, the implementation of artificial intelligence demands significant investments in infrastructure like training and system integration, which can be a barrier for small and medium enterprises. Regulatory bodies must also play a proactive role in crafting policies that balance innovation with ethical considerations, because these bodies are one of the main a source of power who can regulate, who can control these ethical issues or considerations, or even in any society can take any type of legal action. So, by addressing these challenges, businesses can be responsible, harness of the business benefits of artificial intelligence while minimizing its potential harms, ensuring a fair and equitable impacts across industries as well. As
Then
we
Major,
mostly are from the field of academia, so the research directions are very important for all of us to for future recommendations or future concerns. As far as different things are happening AI and in business decision making. So first research direction that I have to share is exploring the ethical impacts of artificial intelligence in business decision making. Like examining the ethical challenges posed by artificial intelligence in managerial decisions, such as biases in algorithms, potential misuse of AI systems. This includes investigating transparency, accountability, and fairness in the automated decision making processes. Research should assess how ethical concerns impact stakeholders' trust and corporate reputation. Case studies on companies that successfully integrate ethical AI principles could provide actionable insights. Additionally, exploring regulatory frameworks across industries and regions can identify gaps and best practices for ensuring responsible AI implementations. Such studies could provide blueprints for businesses to navigate ethical dilemmas while leveraging artificial intelligence capabilities. The second research direction I would like to share is AI-driven transformation in leadership and organizational culture. Artificial intelligence basically influences on leadership styles as well, also on organization culture, because it is crucial for our research area, so it's important as well. Future studies or future researchers can investigate how artificial intelligence tools affect leadership decision making, communications, and employee engagements. Researchers should also explore the evolving role of leaders in managing artificial intelligence driven workflows and ensuring employees' adaptability to technological changes. The interplay between AI integration and organizational values, such as we can say the innovation and inclusivity, can provide deeper insights into cultural shifts. Studies can also evaluate implies perceptions of AI-driven leadership and its impact on productivity and job satisfaction. This direction can uncover strategies for fostering a collaborative culture in AI-enhanced environment. And last but not least, the research direction should be to explore the impact of AI on sustainable business practices. For example, artificial intelligence role in promoting sustainability. As my senior speakers also provide insights for the sustainable development goals and other related matters. I'm sorry. So AI role in promoting sustainability with business management will present an essential avenue for the researchers. Researchers can explore how AI technologies optimize resources utilization, reduce carbon footprints, and enhance supply chain transparency. For example, predictive analytics can help businesses anticipate demands and minimize waste, especially the food waste, because one of my senior also present about the food related issues. So in developed countries like China and big economies, Europe and America, they have a lot of percentage of food waste. So this should be minimized. While we talk about AI power, so AI powered monitoring system can ensure compliance with environmental regulations as well. So researchers can also delve into how AI supports corporate social responsibility initiatives by automating sustainability reporting and improve accountability. Analyzing these real-world examples of AI-driven sustainability efforts can highlight challenges and opportunities, guiding businesses toward integrating sustainability with AI strategies effectively. And at the last, I would like thanks for everyone to provide valuable time and being here to join us in the second international conference on social science and technology, which was greatly arranged by Ridwan Institute. Thank you. Any comments are welcome and discussion is welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Abdul, for your valuable insight. For your information, ladies and gentlemen, all of the participants and the audiences, later on at the end of the speaker sessions, there will be question and answer. Feel free to ask questions to each of the distinguished speakers in this conference. Okay, let's move forward to the next one. I am happy to introduce you with the next speaker, Dr. Abhishek Tomandru. Are you here, Dr. Abhishek?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, welcome to the international conference. Before we start, allow me to read a little bit about your CV. So right now, Dr. Abhishek Tomandru is the assistant professor in Alliance University and also senior legal analyst in Andhra Pradesh Center for Financial System and Service. He was also assistant professor in Koneru Laxmaya Education Foundations. So he has a lot of experience. So without any, in terms of publications, he also has published a lot of works. One of them is entitled Fortifying Uzbekistan's Integrity Landscape, Harnessing India's Tech-Driven Anti-Corruption Strategies. Okay, very interesting. So let's directly listen to his explanations to Mr. Dr. Abhishek. Time is yours.
Very good morning to everyone. I'm truly honored to be here today to discuss a topic that is not just reshaping our world, but challenging our very understanding of about the human connection and digital approach. So I would like to thank the organizers as well as the other speakers who has given insights to the audience so that they have very interactive session that will focus on the concept that lies in the intersection of the forces digital empathy. So in an era wherein dominated by artificial intelligence and digital communication technology often drives our interactions. But while artificial intelligence enhances, there are growing concerns. Just let's take a moment thinking about the interactions, like perhaps in your daily days, someone has you ask Siri, what's the weather? Siri, message my friend. Siri, or you want to scroll down to social media. In each of these moments, technology wasn't just a tool, it's just becoming a mediator of human experience. So today we will explore how we can harness the artificial intelligence not just to advance technology, but to strengthen the very fabric of human connection. So we'll also try to understand how set of examples, the rapid booming of these technological conversational algorithms, and how does the world we're living is becoming more digital and how less we are interacting with each other. So the essence of the lecture was the presentation is to understand on the four aspects, like how is AI transforming human interactions, and why empathy is needed, and why digital empathy specifically matters more than ever, and practical strategies for designing more human-centric technologies. So as you can see in the slide, there are three trigram models which the AI is currently rising on. So we're living in through an unprecedented transformation that even we may like or dislike, we have to work together with AI. AI is just not changing how we work. It's revolutionizing we learn, communicate, and connect. So consider how ChatGPT helps students to understand complex concepts or each and minor things, but how AI-powered translation tools break down language barriers in real time. For instance, I wanted to communicate in any other language. When previous research I have to work with Uzbekistan, I have used ChatGPT to understand the transforming profound challenges, giving interactions with those peoples, even I don't know the language. So conversational AIs is one of the greatest shaping interactions, which can break down the barriers between the countries, whether you're using trade practices, whether you want to technological laws, whether you want to emphasize a lawmaking policy, or you want to emphasize on your daily needs as well. These transformation comes with profound challenges also, because every AI system which we interact carries kind of potential of bias. For instance, if I'm an AI developer, I design AI for some necessity, but technically AI is something which we're trying to recreate and procreate based on our simplicity and our physical appearance or mind appearance technically. So if as a developer, if I have some biasness that will transform into these algorithms despite the codes which we run on. So there are some risks, accountability to be considered, because as beautiful as pursue efficiency in our life, we risk losing the beautiful inefficiency of human connection. So how we can do a meandering conversation, those moments of shared vulnerability is what I'm trying to address in this presentation. So AI is not just providing a real-time dialogue system, humanizing technology. This innovation creates tremendous possibilities for connection. Like, however, they challenge our ability to engage meaningfully. So why do we need to challenge engagement meeting? Because even AI driven adopts the content to individual learners without the essence of the ideology of human-centric solutions. The technology will be losing our intensity of what we are today. So what we should try to understand is that how infusing those digital experience should make our relationship more stronger and more stronger. So in that, why the concept of emotional intelligence come into picture? So this question comes into my mind: why does emotional intelligence so matter much in the digital age? Because technology without empathy is just a code. When we build empathy into our digital experiences, we build trust. So when we prioritize emotional well-being in our digital interactions, we combat epidemic of loneliness. So that could redirect towards our psychological well-being, that could redirect towards our consumer interface, that could redirect towards our daily utilities actions, that could redirect towards even our education as well. So the business case is clear. Companies that embed empathy into their digital experiences consistently outperform, and the companies those doesn't they don't perform well because the human case is even more clear. So in the world of increasing digital distractions and decreasing face-to-face interactions, now these are going to getting automated chatbots, which for any as a consumer, if I want some Amazon services, if I want some kind of consumer digital services, I look at it and try to address the questions and I get it only face-to-face interaction based on the digital bots, not a human interactions. So empathy is not just good for business; it is essential for collective well-being. So even the developers, even the consumers are wanted to seek the better iterative technology. Like how us we feel afterwards of video calls, the exhaust of navigating endless notifications in our daily life. And these are just technical challenges that humans are challenge empathetic to solution. So there are three things which we can see in the slide: humanizing, technology, emotional well-being, competitive advantage. So empathy is not just about programming robots to think. It is about designing tools that acknowledge and respect human emotions. For instance, telehealth platforms with empathetic interfaces create trust between patient and doctors. So in the online telephonic medical services, if there's no proper interaction, if the chatbot is quite non-responsive, just only answer the question. So the patient may not be in a position to address the feel of the edge towards connectivity. Therefore, the trust does not be built, and even business can't be expanded, treatment cannot be endorsed. So here is what we know as designing for empathy is one of the greatest challenges to human connection. So why does this imply? Because this is a kind of a center core part of it, which can enlighten towards the integration of business and the enactment of laws and by drafting social policy as per the competitive advantage. So businesses that embrace empathy, such as Spotify, playlists like Amazon with some personal recommendation, foster deeper customer loyalty with other than other products. So these kind of examples will vary from country to country. So how these challenges is we come across is based on like how many times I'll be distracted by notification when you're talking to someone. For instance, I'm giving a speech, suddenly someone make a noise and you get distracted. So there's always technology has downsides, but these are challenges to understand. How can we come far against it? So virtual replace meetings can replace the richness of face-to-face communication because it is only indicing towards disruption. Amplified loneliness talks about how paradoxically disconnections often leave people being isolated. So after COVID-19, things have changed new normal, which we are trying to assess and trying to evaluate the best comes of our life. So what we try to understand is that, so how do we build this more empathetic digital future? So it starts with human-centric design. So in the last speaker has mentioned that many algorithms has been developing day by day and trying to emphasize the daily for business needs. So these days, it is a responsibility of the coders and developers as well as social workers to should focus on that the new tool known as which are trying to the advanced tool, we should focus on reinforced learning method based. The reinforced learning method algorithm is kind of a model which learns on itself basis on the sets which try to train it and based on the machine learning. So what I'm trying to say is that we actively listen to become a social person, even we try to train these kind of sets to this model. And that model can be used for creating a digital empathy towards a stronger bridge. So it starts with human-centric design. So as a developer, you need this code. As a lawmaker, you need this incorporating a policy measures. And a welfare social workers should recognize the AI systems to respond human emotions. So we're in a stage that we're not in a position to deny the advancement of AI because it boosts our digital interfaces and livelihood betterness. So active listening becomes more crucial in digital spaces. So this means what we design in AI systems that just not just collect data, but they truly try to understand the data and content. It means creating uh, interfaces through meaningful dialogue rather than just a transaction, just as respondents. Earlier days, when the beginning of ChatGPT was launched, it just only gave a kind of a mere respond question to answer. But now we're evolving into a stage where it responds to the reciprocativeness of the thoughts of being a human. So, in simple example, if I have an emotional unwell-being and I'm asked ChatGPT what is the set of actions should I do, it gives kind of a resemblance of some similar example, asking us to this is the good right, this is the step. If it is beyond the step, you should consult a doctor. Some kind of response. And perhaps it means it is committing to an ethical AI development. So transparency is not just a buzzword, it's a commitment to human dignity. So we should also provide ethical empathy towards those things. And you can see the slide, you can see one good example how AI is integrating our standard lifetime. This is the Meta's new AI glasses. So in Meta glasses, what does it do? It just, when you wear it, when you just walk on your streets, you get to see some strangers. Just an example I'm referring to. It can just capture the image of the stranger and try to populate in the search and internet databases and try to collate the information reciprocately and guide you who is that person. So it creates kind of a confidence on you that you're being an outsider, whether you travel to international borders, whether you travel within your country or even in a strange place, but it also provides an attentive presence that as a user, as a consumer, here is how helping. But the concerns are there. The data which has been populated without the consent of the user. So it means when you wear these goggles and see the person, the other person data is reflecting on your screen, on your lens. But it is not at all has been granted because the information is traveled back on source and where the consent has not been where there's the privacy concerns come into picture. So there are some set of challenges, some set of concerns that has to be advanced question. Because whatever ethical AI comes into picture, empathy must be built on these foundations of ethics as well as tool development, the lawmaking process. Because as we all know, European Union is also given AI Act, Artificial Intelligence Act in terms of governance and as well as transparency. But these are only at the beginning stage, inception of the stage. So empathy must be built on foundation of ethics, which can create transparency, explain how decisions are made, accountability, assigning responsibility of those outcomes. So when using AI in our general life, daily life, in technology, in our businesses, in our education, we should also focus on fairness, accountability, and human-centric design. Because always prioritize human well-being over efficiency should be the best main protocol for this case understanding. So I challenge each of you to champion digital empathy, whether you're building technologies, teaching others, simply navigating your own life, asking yourself, how can I make interaction more empathetic? And together, let's create a world doesn't just make smarter, but also compassionate and connected. So designing empathy and personalization is very, very needed. As we stand this technological crossroad, we do have a choice. So the presentations of this key takeaway is that empathy is not to have a nice, but an essential skill to designing meaningful digital experiences. So that could be in your research, that could be in your personal life, that could be in business. So AI should enhance, not replace our ability to connect as humans. The power of this empathy is that as we understand the technology crossroads, we have a choice. We can allow technology to erode human connection, or we can harness it with deepen our capacity to empathy and understanding. So the future of digital interaction doesn't have to be cold and impersonal by embedding empathy into your digital DNA. So we can create technologies that just don't serve humanity, they elevate it. So in your business, in your technologies and your interactions, you choose your connection over convenience. So therefore, I request that as a user, as well as consumer, we should focus on developing the future of research or futures of advancement or future-centric models and designing these tools. Choose understanding over efficiency and choose humanity. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abhishek, for your valuable insight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have enough time to go to the next section, namely question and answer session. So for the audiences, for the participants, feel free to ask. Maybe for the first wave, we open 3 questions from 3 participants. You may introduce yourself, your institution, and then to whom your questions is asked. Is there any question to our keynote speakers and distinguished speakers?
Yes, from Timor-Leste, is one of our students want to ask a question. I don't know whom will be question.
Okay, please.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. My name is Abdan Fatima Guterres. So here I'm from University Unital. So my question is focused on the Dr. Amin. So just already said, the doctor said that technology and society change culture meet and Singapore Muslim their perspective. So my question is talking about how can technology companies ensure that cultural meet the products alike with halal certification requirement to gain wider acceptation within Muslim the community. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Dr. Amin, are you still here?
Mute. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, please, Dr. Amin.
Okay, question asked is how businesses can meet the halal requirements. Now, before businesses can meet the halal requirements, they need to know what is the halal requirements, what is the process and the halal requirements. Therefore, it's actually on the halal certification body to be very clear and to educate everybody, the consumers and the businesses, about what needs to be done for the halal certification. And the halal products is actually gaining a lot of marketability all over the world, not just in the Muslim world, because even in non-Muslim countries with Muslim minorities as well. Okay, so there is that responsibility. I would say lies on the halal certification bodies to be clear about the process required, and that process actually would include what happens at the lab, the process of cultivating the meat. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, because I have a question for Dr. Abhishek. Actually, I just want to have his views. Do you think AI and particularly ChatGPT would lead to some form of inertia or lack of analytical mindset among future generations, that people won't try to solve problems themselves, but will just use AI to answer questions?
Yeah. Thank you for this question, Dr. Amin. So it's not the single word I can answer the question because it is a very deep sense of mind requires to say. As in reference to the question, I can give an example of search which I'm recently doing, like Gen Z's. How Generation Z is trying to emphasize these interactions into livelihood. Because there were scenarios in China also where Gen Z, one these days, they don't want to mingle with human interactions and they wanted to marry a hologram and marry an idol, marry a kind of a third well-being. And this kind of, they wanted to social interactions as diversified the regular life of well-being. So Gen Zs are trying to find alternative ways of existence and survival rather than going with the traditional mode of well-being. So these days, we're trying to emphasize the choices of their preference of sex, preference of their mindsets has been evolving. And it's a very good research that ChatGPT is giving kind of introducing towards the ways whatever the ChatGPT says, sometimes Gen Zs and blindly follows it. That's a great concern, is what I believe. And even the studies are yet to be finalized, but this is what the primary incepted results talk about.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you for a very good discussions. Now we move to the next opportunity. We will open the next opportunity for other participants or audiences who want to ask questions. Are there any questions from the participants, from the audiences? Please.
There is a student from Unital want to ask, please.
Okay, from Unital again, please.
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity, and I wanna ask the question for Dr. Amin, and my name is Emma Siqueira Guzman. My question is, what are the potential health benefit and concern of cultured meat, and have might these factors affect its acceptance among Muslim consumers?
Okay. What I understand you're asking about, your first part of your question was, what are the health advantages and concerns for cultured meat? Right?
Yes.
I don't know. I can't think of what are the health advantages of cultured meat. And I don't know what are the health disadvantages, if any, of cultured meat. All right. But and this is one of the things that I was trying to raise, that all this technology and causes concern with some people with their traditional views. It is basically it's basically people of not accepting anything that's unnatural. Like a lot of people who do not want to take medicine unless they have to. They do not want to take supplements because they're not sure what are they putting in their body. One of the problems I think, with cultured meat in terms of perception of a lot of people is we don't know what happens. We can't understand what happens, what creates this meat, how is it developed. So we are kind of concerned about, is there any chemicals going into it? Is there anything going in it? Is there a long-term effect that has not been discovered? And which is why I said it's actually important to do longitudinal studies to see if there is indeed any effects one way or another. All right. I personally, one of the issues I personally concerned about is the imbalancing of nature, because all this has started because my generation is to be blamed for causing imbalance in nature, for over-consuming. Now, if we under-consume, what will happen? I mean, everybody's talking about, a problem of not enough, a problem of something being extinct. My other side of the problem is, what happens if we stop consuming something? The way nature works is take care of itself. So if we stop consuming cows, if we stop consuming lamb, if we stop consuming fish, if we stop consuming any animals, what's going to happen in the world? Is there going to become an overabundance of animals, or are we going to restrict breeding of animals? Right. So I'm not sure what is it. It's like at home I have pest control. My pest control comes at home to pest control the big red ants. But because he's controlling the big red ants, and most of the red ants are basically he's clearing the big red ants, what happens is the small sugar ants come up because the big red ants were eating the small sugar ants. So when you solve one problem, it's a basic business ideology. If you solve any problem, what you actually are doing is creating another problem. So the question is the new problem you created easier to live with than the problem that you have solved? Okay. I personally don't have the answers to your question. I don't know what are the advantages and disadvantages. There is environmental advantages that everyone's talking about, but in terms of medical advantage or disadvantages, I have no idea.
Okay,
Right.
thank you, Dr. Amin, for the answer. Hopefully, it is what our friends in Unitel expected. We go to the next one. We still have time. Is there any other questions? We have one question from in the chat box. To whom this question is asked? Rizka?
AI.
Enggak macet. Macet sama
Okay. Hello, sir. I am Rizka Anggreni from Polytechnic SCI. I have question. How can we ensure that AI enhances human interactions, not replace
Oops.
it? Maybe this question is delivered to Mr. Abhishek and Dr. Abdul, because both of you explained about AI. Right.
Okay, yeah, coming to. So thank you for this question, Rishka. So how can we assure that AI enhances human interaction, not replaces us? So ensuring thing is about your control. Like you give one reference, for example, Rishika. For instance, you love eating a particular dish and you don't want to, I'm just giving a social reference, and you don't want to be gaining weight or you don't want to lose the intensity. So you have a limited quantity, right? So similarly, if you beyond the regular capacity you have, will have an abdominal pain, or you will be consuming more and more calories and gaining weight. So, how we embracing AI in our regular lifestyle is what matters, like how extended we're giving a breaks to it and how trying to leverage it. If we don't leverage it, end of the day, we will be totally reluctant to be an individual person. We will totally rely on AI's interference. So in future days, AI will keep on dictating our terms that how to do. Like these days, when we're still relying on AI, suddenly we see a Fitbit in a watch which says, "You need to stand up. You need to have your meal. You need to have your water. You need to have your break." So after a few days, what will happen? You will be enticed towards following AI as its own protocol rather than your mind. So it is we ourselves giving a break to these, then we can continue our human interactions. Then AI will not replace it.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mr. Dr. Abhishek, and hopefully that answer the question from Rizka. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end.
Itu menjadi sajian utama kita juga.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our first sessions of this international conference. The next session will be parallel sessions, but before that, I would like to give the summary and also the conclusion of this conference. Okay, as we conclude, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to summarize the key points of today's sessions. The theme of the International Conference on Social Technology and Science 2024 is Facing Digital Challenges and Opportunities in Social Sciences and Technology. This highlights the dynamic interplay between the evolving digital landscape and its impact on social sciences and technological advancement. It explores how individuals, how organizations, and also societies can address challenges such as digital transformation, ethical considerations, and also inclusivity while leveraging opportunities for innovation, collaboration, and sustainable progress in an increasingly interconnected world. Thank you to all speakers for their enriching presentations and to our audience for your active participations. Let us now proceed to the next session. The next session will be break, and after that, there will be follow-up instruction provided for the room divisions. Have a productive paralizations. Now we have a break. You may stay on this Zoom, or you can leave the Zoom for a while and join later on. Thank you so much. I will give this Zoom meeting to the committee and also the operator. Thank you so much. I'm Alda Willian. See you in the next international conference.
Thank you
Have a
very
nice
much.
day.
Have a nice day. You can express and you can ask. It's very good. Really appreciate. Students should be like that. Students are not just students should be like that. So I think it's good. Next, let's discuss. Maybe you have English club. English club, not course. English club. Huh? No, you don't have?
Yes.
Maybe try to
Gimana? Berkontrol di atas. Ini ya.
Recording in progress.
Tapi namanya ganti dulu. Nggak apa-apa. Mau pinjam dulu sih? Boleh. Nggak tahu. Yang kotak itu tuh.
Pak Ahmad Hari.
Ini signing nggak?
Ya, Waalaikumsalam. Ya, halo, thank you. Halo, halo, bisa bergabung?
Ya, oh, Pak Migi,
Ya,
boa tarde.
tarde, llega lá.
Dia, Pak Migi. Isso, Pak Migi.
Halo,
Ah, Pak Migi.
lain dia lá.
Dia.
Juvencio. Juvencio. Ah. Halo,
Pak Migi.
halo, boa tarde.
Ah, boa tarde, Pak Migi.
Llega lá.
Iya. Pois Pak Migi.
Ah, dia, kami ini lah be. Conferenceon nih.
Kamu stuir hela.
Ento ini video nih be lah.
Hau foto iya, video lah iya, hau foto deh.
Samnya saya lah. Ini barat tuh.
Saya hela. Hai, barak los, ini rame los, malos sudah, ini rame los.
Abi aku banyak kan?
Halo, ibu-ibu Sira. Hai, ini rame los.
Ibu Argentina, Argentina.
Iya.
Ini foto deh.
Halo video dah, halo man foto.
Ini akan ya ikan kare ini away, kare foto deh. Ini awarannya baru 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 kono kene. Baru.
Dek, pamigi aku pamigi.
Ini pare ko ini salatnya makannya.
Cata. Kare
Kami waktu ini salamannya.
Biar lah mau tidak kuliah nih. Udah nih lah kah? Dili udah kah? Dili udah kah?
Dili udah oseng udah mau tahu dia.
Oh.
Ambasin naran lah.
Oh, dia. Obrigado, dia. Waktu waktu anak kasih ya.
Iya masih ada. Ambil arum latihan nih.
Dia.
Ya, apa? Asin.
Ibu sudah lepo ibu sira tabu sira register loson naga. Register loson naga ini imrua.
Dokumen tak ambil
Tahun dia ibu sudah imrua sudah baik ibu. Ah dia. Dua sudah lahau bang. Ada nih ibu Fatin ibu pernah sudah lahau bang.
Dokumen tuh nih, dia buat dokumen.
Dokumen selosok.
Oh, ini tiba ibu kan? Kita lolos ibu mas tidak.
Oh. Loson.
Ya.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Takon na ka?
Bele, bele, bele. Takon.
Halo? عشان مشاتي بعد ما قدم مشاتي أقول أرجع مشاتي أفرق أقول أيوة هم comprehension kuliah umum universitas oh nggak tahu tuh
Tapi dia mau dekan kirim siap.
di kan
Kirim.
makanya itu
Nah, saya window clear.
win tanggal 26
Mau register.
Hah? Sidang register latihan
Itu lo kuliah nih, sudah kuliah.
kuliah utian na
Continue kali kan?
layana atau kirimnya mau ke latihan
Nah, itu sertifikat apa?
atau kirim naran
Anda kirim jalan.
kirim sama kirim kan
Betul lah soalnya.
pasti lah
Oh, jelang. Oh, ini nggak apa.
Koran. Oh ini dari jam 11 nih. Halo. Conferenceon apa register belakang? Register le? Harus. Katakan.
Mau tidur sama Barak.
Barak close 146.
Ini 60.
Ini lanjut Victoria betul. Salah jauh Victoria.
Nah, Bepa, aku kepasan
Ini.
Para aku dia tahu nih hanya punya.
Bahasa info.
Karena ada banyak yang Bepa formasi itu kita nih.
Jelasin. Vamos a hacer.
Ya kan. Kita formasi sebenarnya kami sini nih, karena saya yang bongkar formasi ini nanti ke bongkar biru. Ini buka semua bolong saya hempan hasil konsasan apa yang saya dari ini malah dia nih kan.
Halo. Dinda Kasih. Muhammad Rizki. Awal besar. Awal besi kan? Lah sini penawan. Nih, udah mes perjalanan. Narik tau. Nih, karet itu. Tahu tidak? Sudah? Bos tuh dia. Iya. Nggak harus bangun ya. Saya nggak pengen. Bisa sampai di sini. Setelah dia menginap di kene punya. Di sini. Oh, ada orang. Kita buat lain larang masuk kali. Nih, alhamdulillah.
¿Qué tanto in... Nah. Ini saya tienen, son mau sino. Hmm. Suruh. Ini saya tienen, son mau sino lalu.
Untuk.
Cuma kuwo kuno. Oh, itu.